I want to welcome everybody onto this call from East Africa, from whatever country you are, Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. It's so fantastic to have you on this call. So you'll see that intermittently, we will have these type of Zoom calls where we speak more about product. And it's so important for us to really understand how our products work and how our products work for you. Remember that product is the vehicle for us as a business to achieve our sales objectives. Without product, we don't have a business. And, you know, I don't have to sell to you how unique our products are and how they work. I'm sure you already know that. But today's session, we're incredibly honored and privileged to have our product manager all the way from South Africa, from Mzansi. We have our product manager. Her name is Connie. Connie's been with us, I think since last year, October or so, Connie, I think.
Yes, you're right, AJ.
Okay, so we're very excited to have Connie. Some of you might have known her from other Southern African / East African product sessions. But, you know, we're so happy that Connie's with us to support us and help us with our product knowledge, because the more you know about the product and you know the benefits, the easier it is for you to not only sell it to customers, but it's much easier for you to be able to work out how these products make up your business, what PV they contribute, what BV they contribute. And I'll say this before I introduce Connie, I'll say this again, product is the vehicle that gets us to where we need to go. Without product, we don't have a business. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you all to Connie, our product manager from South Africa. And let's give a warm welcome to Connie. Thank you, Connie. Take it away.
Okay, hello everybody. I am Connie Dikgale, the product manager for Africa here at NeoLife, and I am too honored to be talking to you guys today. And I'm going to guess that you've heard the name calcium before and maybe iron, and you're focused on that. But I'm going to share with you today a mineral you probably don't pay attention to, but you should, because a good proportion of us are either not eating enough or our body has a poor status. But what I want to do is tell a story, because this is exactly the kind of story you can share with your prospects and customers, because it's likely they want to know what you know. And I want to say that I'm very honored to be sharing this with you today. And I'm very happy to be part of the NeoLife family. I only have been here for about 5 months or 6 months. And I am quite intrigued at how the NeoLife family, particularly looking at what NeoLife stands for, the dedication of looking at what's in nature and backing those decisions for formulations with true science, and really looking at credible research, formulating products that make sense. So I'm very excited and privileged to be able to talk to you today about this. So I would like to start by talking about a category in nutrition. And minerals actually are one of 6 categories of nutrients. But let's first start where minerals come from, right? And what exactly are minerals? Well, simply carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen that essentially make up fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. Everything other than that, those are called minerals. And they are literally, they make up the world around us. They're everywhere. And minerals actually originate in the rocks and soil in the Earth's crust. And the water running over that, and the plants taking up the water and the nutrients from the soil bring in those minerals that that plant needs to grow and to carry on its nutrition and function. We then eat the plants, or we eat the animal products, like we drink a glass of milk, and then we get those minerals. Why is this important? What happens if there are no minerals in the soil? What happens if the soil has been depleted of all these minerals that we rely on? We know our bodies need 20 or so different minerals, and there's no way that we can make them. We have to get them from outside sources. What I would like to do is talk to you about the two different categories of minerals. And let us first know that we have about 2 to 4 kilograms of minerals in our bodies. So approximately 5% of your body weight is minerals. And if you're African descent like me, we have about 6%. And if you're Asian, you might have about 4% of your body weight might be minerals. But why am I mentioning this and what does this mean? Well, think of it this way. If you pick up a 2 kilogram bag of perhaps maize meal or rice, that's about the weight of the calcium and all sorts of minerals that are in your body. In fact, you can see the minerals that are on our bodies. You can touch your teeth, you can feel your arm, your bones. Those in part are also minerals. These minerals are essential. There are close to 20 different types of minerals, and 16 of them we've established that we know what the requirements are for them. And what that means is that your body has no capacity to make them. You can't breathe in a mineral. And we have to get the minerals from the diet because we rely on these to give your body the structure and do other functions such as regulation. So pretty much everything that goes on inside our bodies that we don't have to think about. So like I said earlier, these minerals are everywhere in the body and we want to categorize them. So we have major minerals, and the list that you see in front of the screen of you is just a few of them. Ones that you've heard of like sodium, which is an essential mineral too, but too much sodium can also be problematic. Things like phosphorus and calcium and potassium. These minerals are present in a greater amount in your body. Then there's a second category. These are a few trace minerals, and those minerals are present in a very small amount, like iron and zinc, but still equally as important. But let's focus on the major minerals for a bit. And we know that we need minerals in our daily diets because we can't make them. They are essential, needed in amounts greater than 100 milligrams. And I'll touch on that a bit later. But let me focus on one major mineral, magnesium. Maybe you haven't heard of it yet, but by the end of this call, you will. And you will want to do something about your magnesium intake, hopefully. I do know that we talk about getting enough calcium, and rightly so, even potassium, because potassium is important for your healthy blood pressure. And we like to talk about getting less sodium, but we don't really talk about magnesium all that much. But before I jump into that, I would like to first give a big thank you to the NeoLife Scientific Advisory Board, queuing in on all the important research and what's developed over the past several years, noting that magnesium status is an issue for people. So let's take a look more closely at what magnesium does for us when we think about what magnesium does in our body. Now, this is the part of the story. It's simply telling us that we have to take in magnesium every day. And hopefully, if you are taking magnesium, you're taking about 360 milligrams every day. As you will see, most people don't. Your body generally likes to store magnesium in your bones. You will find magnesium in your muscles, but very little magnesium will be found in your blood. So don't let people tell you, oh, I've had my blood tested, I don't need magnesium. Your blood isn't really a good indicator of your magnesium status. And in fact, we don't really have a good way to easily assess someone's magnesium status, and that's quite a problem. So what does magnesium do for you? And we have to really emphasize this part of the story, and it's quite incredible. More than any other mineral, magnesium is involved in approximately 700 different biochemical reactions. Who can even keep track of that? But if we look at other minerals, we can identify the roles of calcium, we can identify the roles of iron, but we want to stress this. More than any other mineral, magnesium is out there running the show. It's running the show in being involved in these biochemical reactions. And that means that it's being in charge of, in a sense, of producing energy, in building different proteins in your body and making hormones. But let's look at that even closer, because I want you to be able to tell the story about magnesium. And I know the information can be a little bit overwhelming because of all the scientific terms, but you'll get that. So let's start here. Magnesium plays its largest role in producing energy in your body, okay? Magnesium is needed for the production of a high energy molecule called ATP. And maybe you can write this down, adenosine triphosphate. And I want you to think of ATP as the currency you use in whatever country you are in or wherever you reside. So for the purpose of our story, I will use dollars. And you have to pay for groceries, you have to pay your household bills, you have to pay for transportation. That means there's a price you pay. So we say that ATP is the price inside your cells. And you need to pay to build a protein as seen in protein synthesis, as well as to make new genetic material. That's your DNA or RNA, which is a set of instructions telling your cells exactly what to do. And for instance, it's an instruction telling your muscles to behave like muscles. We need magnesium for that. You want to make estrogen, insulin, testosterone. You have to have magnesium for that. We don't have to think about these processes because our body is doing it for you, only if you have adequate magnesium. So simply explained, magnesium drives the production of ATP, and ATP is what your body uses. It's the currency inside your cells. It's paying for all the things that need to happen, whether you're making new proteins, new blood cells. You get where this is going. So for everything that's going on inside your body, you most probably need magnesium. So you can imagine there are far-reaching benefits for having an adequate magnesium intake and magnesium status. Let's look at some of the areas literally from head to toe where magnesium can be of a benefit. So when you tell your story about magnesium, be sure to talk about that it's involved in neurological health. So having a calm mood. We refer to the synapses. That is the message that needs to be sent from one neuron to the next. Healthy nerve impulse transmission. Also for muscle contraction, in particular during exercise, we know magnesium plays a role there. Cardiovascular health, so normal blood pressure, normal heart rhythm is dependent upon adequate magnesium status. And when we look at skeletal health, we need magnesium to make our bones as well. So magnesium and calcium go together, and we are constantly remodeling them throughout our lives. A healthy immune system is also dependent on adequate magnesium. And finally, your ability to balance glucose in the body. So metabolic regulation relies on adequate magnesium. And what about metabolic health represents is how well you are handling all the different substrates or compounds like glucose that provides you with fuel. And I hope somehow I've convinced you how important magnesium is here. So where do we turn to in our diet to get magnesium? You need about 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium every day. So where can you find it in the foods that you are eating? We can look at green leafy vegetables, and those are green because we can see the pigment, that green chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is that magical compound in plants that traps the sun's energy, photosynthesizing. And guess what? Magnesium is found in that chlorophyll. You can find magnesium in seafood, nuts, seeds, beans, whole grains, and fruits. It's there. However, there have been some issues going on, and that's part of your magnesium story. Why many people, most likely you included, are not getting an adequate amount of magnesium. And there are 3 crucial things that I want you to remember as to why we don't get enough magnesium. Well, it turns out that the magnesium in our diet is decreasing. we are selecting those foods that are not magnesium rich, as I mentioned earlier. So it's our food choices. What we are doing is eating highly refined carbohydrates, high sugar foods. Those are low in magnesium. And I want to make an example with sunflower seeds. It's a very good source of magnesium, right? But when we convert sunflower seeds into sunflower oil, you guessed it, there's a significant loss of magnesium through the refining processes. So reason number 2 is that our ability to take up magnesium, so the bioavailability is declining. We are doing things like taking medication, maybe drinking alcohol, using over-the-counter antacids, and that compromises that. So bioavailability simply is the percentage of food that your body absorbs. So for example, carbohydrates and proteins are highly bioavailable. We absorb all those calories. And if you add poor bioavailability of magnesium from the foods that we eat and other lifestyle factors like we have our high sodium intake, those are the salted foods that we like to probably eat. It's also believed that psychological changes like stress impact bioavailability. And then we look at how much magnesium is in the plants that we grow and the animals that we eat and the food that we eat. That's also declining because of the crop soil depletion. We have a problem. And the problem is that over time, we're not getting enough magnesium intake, and taking it up, we compromise all those benefits that I mentioned from head to toe. And what does this mean for you? What are the bitter consequences of a low magnesium status? What's going to happen if you don't take care of your magnesium? Well, you could have abnormally low blood pressure and high blood pressure. So you have this inability to regulate it well because of your inadequate magnesium status. Heart arrhythmias, so irregular heartbeats, muscle spasms. So do you get muscle cramps frequently, maybe at night? That can potentially be a reason. We also have some links there. And of course, magnesium is not the only cause, but that your magnesium status alters the mood and also metabolic processes such as glucose control. And this is important because insulin resistance, that hormone that helps you regulate how much carbohydrate you get into your cells, as well as when we get older, insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes is on the rise. And we are also understanding more its magnesium's link to bone health. That is what we are learning, that osteoporosis and other bone disorders is that it's not only about calcium, but it's also about magnesium. This is a true problem that all of us need to look at and think about. Think about, is this the missing link for you or for your prospects or for your customers? Is magnesium a problem in your diet, and how much is your body able to get on a realistic basis? I certainly advocate for people to look at nutritious whole foods for magnesium, but we have those other layers where our lifestyles hamper the bioavailability of the magnesium that we consume. Well, here at NeoLife, we have some good news. We have news that will make a difference for you. Supplementation with magnesium does work, and if that supplement is designed properly, it works even better. So basically, dietary supplementation is a way to approach poor magnesium intake and magnesium status. And you know, here at NeoLife, we have put in a lot of thought into it. The Scientific Advisory Board handled the issue of bioavailability very credibly and intelligently. And here it is, our Magnesium Complex, a one-of-a-kind, very unique formulation with a proprietary mix of 3 magnesium sources along with it. Very important, Trimag and Phytomag blend of kale, radish, broccoli, and beetroot. Now, you won't find this anywhere else. There is a way to get this magnesium. Each 2 capsules supplies about 75% of your daily value of magnesium, which is roughly 300 milligrams. And what I want to talk about for a moment here is the importance of these three sources. One in particular is magnesium bisglycinate. And this is a form of magnesium. There's a molecule or an atom of magnesium, and two small amino acids are bonded to it. Those are the building blocks of protein. And Dr. First pioneered this technique. And what this allows is that the magnesium to do is to get into your body more easily. So basically better bioavailability. And I like to look at it this way. It's like you're checking in for your flight online. You can use the pre-check or the online check-in, and you will get into the gate much faster if you do so than if you haven't. So think of bioavailability in the same way. If your magnesium is not readily bioavailable, there's a chance it could stand in line waiting to get absorbed and just ends up being excreted, and we don't want that. Now, because there are three sources of magnesium in this formulation, there's also an organic form of magnesium and magnesium oxide, the same form that we find in plants and in the soil, and that's a very good thing. And here at NeoLife, we take pride in the scientific backing of our scientific advisory board developing these products. And I'm really excited to be part of it. What is really behind these products is good, hard science that develops the products. They see the need, and it's not just about the hype or what's on trend. And magnesium should really be on your radar. So who can benefit from drinking magnesium? So as far as who needs magnesium, and is it dietary essential just for you or for everyone? So now that I touched on earlier that magnesium and calcium go together, and if you like, a lot of people have been focusing on calcium in your diet, which is great because it is also important for your bones and joint health. But we are just realizing, wait a minute, if we don't have enough magnesium, you can't properly utilize calcium. And that's an important line in your story that you're going to tell. Most of the processes that happen inside your body need magnesium as a catalyst. So there's this synergy that NeoLife, the scientific advisory board, addresses with the supplement when they find a need for a product and when it's developed. And we are beginning to understand that. We're beginning to understand the role of magnesium has and how it interacts with other nutrients. So between calcium and magnesium and how they work together for many functions in the body. So who should use the combination of calcium and magnesium? Well, as a combination product, it's best suited for somebody who's focused on bone health, growth, and maybe density in the bones. And if you're already taking a combination product and quite happy, I wouldn't change, I would continue with that. However, if you want to add magnesium, and who should add magnesium complex to their diet? Everyone, to provide that all-important currency that I mentioned earlier, that our cells need for that overall physical energy that I was talking about. And here, you will find the super booster combination that combats fatigue, that increases energy and vitality. It's treonine, followed by CoQ10, and finally, magnesium complex. We have our all-important treonine as an enabler. Here, treonine is involved in the structure and function of cell membranes, which is a critical function. Treonine works to allow the nutrients to enter into the cell and therefore provide a foundation for the energy of the production of energy. And then along comes coenzyme CoQ10, which we'll call the production team. We know CoQ10 is directly involved in the production of energy, and here is the perfect situation to allow this to happen. We also know that CoQ10 is responsible for protecting the energy producing site, which is known as the mitochondria. Then the third part of this trio is the addition of magnesium complex, which can be seen here as the transporter or the activator, which will bind to the required cellular matter to ensure that the energy is active and available for use. And as you can see, magnesium is fundamental in unlocking the much needed energy and supporting other bodily chemical reactions. So you can really benefit from taking magnesium. Make sure in your mind you have this great summary of how magnesium works. It's in the world around us. It's there. We have foods that contain it, but the issue is inside your body. We might not be getting the formation of the cellular energy, that currency that we really need, because we have issues with bioavailability. We have issues with poor food choices or the declining levels of magnesium in the soil that grows our food. So you already have a very good story to tell. And finally, let me finish off by saying this. There are other NeoLife products that have magnesium, but what sets Magnesium Complex apart is that it maximizes on bioavailability. It's one of the most affordable considering the PV and the BV ratio. And I think you have a great story to tell. And I wish you all the best and thank you very much for your time.
Wow, fantastic. Let's give Connie a round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Well done. Fantastic. You know, I get so excited when I see what our products do, when I hear about the detail of how important our products are to how we function as human beings.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we take so many things for granted, and it's so refreshing to hear that magnesium is a catalyst for so many things that happens in our body. We don't consciously think about it, but we need it. Everybody needs it. So to everybody on the call, all 128 of you, I hope that this was an insightful session for you, because, you know, at the end of the day, the more information we have and the more information that we pass on to our customers and to our downlines, the more empowered everybody is in this organization. I mean, what are we trying to achieve? We know we're trying to make the world healthier and happier. We know we're trying to end the trend of poor health and disease and poor wealth. You know, we're on a drive and a mission to make this world healthier and happier. And, you know, we have the power at NeoLife to help people to live healthier and happier lives. And magnesium is just one of them. And we hope to see Connie more frequently on our East Africa sessions. There will be another session coming up quite soon. I will send out a flyer to you. Unfortunately, we can't do it every week, but we certainly will try our best to do it at least once a month. And we'll have another exciting session with Connie. So remember, team, magnesium is affordable. If you look at the price of magnesium versus our other products, the PV/BV ratio, as Connie said, it's attractive. You can make good money from magnesium as what you can with all our other products. So this was a special treat for us from Connie regarding magnesium, not only the benefits to our product to our body, but also the benefits to our wallets, and making sure that we sell this product and we can sell it with confidence. Connie said that, you know, our SAB, our Scientific Advisory Board, they have developed a product that is probably the best magnesium product on the market right now. And we're very proud of our SAB, and they help us to have products that are unique and are better and different. And so you can sell it with confidence over any of the other products that are perhaps on the market. So to all of you that were on this call, special thank you to everybody who joined on time at 8 p.m. And we wish you well in this month of April. We've now got Easter behind us. We wish our Muslim distributors I think it's towards the 21st or the 22nd or so of this month. We wish you well in your celebrations. And finally, from me, have a fantastic April. Achieve the things that you want to achieve. I disappear.
Yes, you did.
Oh, sorry, must be my internet connection.
Yes.
So anyway, I just want to thank everyone on the call. Thank you, Connie. Have a fantastic April, team, and take 2 steps this year and really achieve your full potential. So from me, AJ and Connie, all the best to everybody. Take care and thanks for joining us tonight.
Bye.
Bye. Asante Sane. Take care, everyone.